What if I told you that you could get to the age of 47 with absolutely no wrinkles? Now, I'm not saying that I don't look my age, and I'm not saying that with dynamic movement, as I move my face, that there are no wrinkles. Of course there are wrinkles. It's going to happen with age. But at rest, when I rest my face, there are no etched wrinkles in my skin yet. You might think I'm lying, you might think that's impossible, or you might be intrigued and say, how is that possible? Or you may even have done this yourself. You may have reached the ages of 46, 47, 48 and have no wrinkles. Now, obviously I'm wearing makeup now in this video because, well, I want to look nice on video. But as I speak, I'm going to put a video here or here that I took a week and a half ago of my bare plain skin, my bare plain face. And you can see at rest, I have no wrinkles on my face yet. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, because with age, naturally, our collagen declines, that skin plumpness, the elastin, the juiciness, the moisture, it does decline. The skin gets thinner. And so wrinkles are a lot easier to form and they become a lot more prevalent. And I'm not saying I don't have any wrinkles. I mean, I've got the neck wrinkles, which we all have. I mean, there's wrinkles in my arm creases here. Wrinkles are coming. And as I make this video, every day I wake up and I can see, now that I've lost weight, because of the weight loss, the wrinkles that form when I smile are becoming more and more etched. And also when I smile here under my eyes, those are starting to etch. So probably from the date of this video going forward, I may start to have wrinkles. But what I wanted to share with you guys is all the treatments, everything I've done and am doing to my skin, to my face, for my overall health in order to prevent wrinkles. And I also want to give you some hope, especially if you are young. If you are in your 20s and you start doing skincare now, today, you could probably get to the age of 50, 55 with zero wrinkles, because I was really bad. I did not take care of my skin up until the age of 40, to be honest. I used to run marathons in the baking sun. Yes, I put on some sunscreen, but all I did was put a very light layer. I never thought about replacing the sunscreen on my 5-hour marathon runs. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just slap on a little bit of sunscreen. I put a bit here. And within a short space of time, like 2 years of doing that, I had so much sun damage. And I did damage my skin. And when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s, we didn't really think about sun damage. The sun was part of what you did to feel good. You would go out, lay in the sun. I used baby oil like everyone else did. It's horrifying when you think back now. Now that we know so much about sun damage and aging and skin cancer, what we did back then just seems like horrific. And I did it. So how did I come to start to reverse all that damage, and how, in many ways, does my skin look better today than it did at 38? And as I speak, I'm going to put pictures on the screen. So listen and look at the pictures as we go along in this video, because I want to show you. Let me start off by putting some photographs on the screen now of my skin at its worst, with all the freckles, sunspots, sun damage. This was after I had taken up running, which really did damage my skin. Now, it's not the running that damaged my skin. It was being outdoors in the prolonged sun, that prolonged sun exposure. And you can see a lot of the damage here and on my chest in particular. Of course, this also happens on your arms, the back of your arms. But I really noticed also, even my face started to look a lot more depleted, and there was premature, I think premature facial sagging or aging. And even with a few skin treatments that I did since then, it did kind of restore that back to its natural shape. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to age if you do these treatments. You will still age. And my skin is still getting progressively thinner, older. It's losing the collagen and elastin. But I am glad to be able to share with you some of the things I have done. And step by step, if you go through it, it is a lot, but it's not that much. I mean, I've done it over the years from the ages of 40 to 47, where I've really taken my skin health and appearance quite seriously, when I realized that suddenly I could do something about it. It all started when I did my first limelight treatment. Now, limelight, it's a form of IPL. IPL stands for intense pulsed light. I would recommend you go for the one that is actually called limelight. It's made by a company called Qure. It's the Qure limelight machine. And what it does is it takes away all that discoloration from sun damage. It cannot restore the pigment. So, you get those little white spots. I've got some of them here on my shoulder, those little white spots where the pigment dies. So it cannot restore pigment, but it can lessen and fade a lot of the sun damage pigmentation. And it really helps you to look youthful, because that is a sign of youthful skin. When I had that first treatment done, it was like night and day. It was like the angels sang hallelujah, and all that sun damage crusted to the surface and fell off, and my skin really looked very radiant afterwards. And I noticed that it seemed to build a bit of collagen and like replump my skin. My skin looked amazing for a good few months after that treatment. Then after that treatment, I was inquiring about ways to sort of maintain the effects, and they mentioned tretinoin. And I remember thinking, oh, I have tretinoin, because before that I was going to a provider who would do the odd little bit of Botox for me. From early on, I used to get my 11s Botox because I hate the look of a frowny forehead, and my dad has very deep frown lines, and I look just like my father. So from pretty young, I've been Botoxing my 11s. And anyway, so that provider had written me a script for tretinoin, and I had never used it. I don't know why. I had it from about the age of 38, 39, and I think I'd used it like haphazardly. After the limelight, my skin looked amazing, and then I was motivated. Now I was really motivated, because limelight also helps prevent skin cancer, which is another side benefit and a really important one of taking care properly of your skin. When you avoid the sun, when you use sunscreen, when you do lasers and these kinds of treatments, peels, you get rid of the precancerous cells. And there is history, like my dad was a runner, and he was often getting precancerous things burnt off his face, and it looked terrible. He would come home with all these burn marks all over his face. And when I had the limelight and they explained to me the anti-cancer benefits as well, and at that time she had found a little sort of flaky precancerous spot, which she treated with a cream, it really it opened my eyes, made me aware, and from that day forth, I have literally taken my skincare very seriously. Now, yes, not all of you are going to want to do all these steps. I do put a lot of time, effort, energy, and money into my skin, particularly my face, neck, and chest, because these are the ones that are always in the sun, or this is the skin that is often in the sun. It's also what people look at. I'm on YouTube. I don't want to look aged on the top, and also often your legs, your back, your stomach, and all that is hidden from the sun, although these areas also show signs of sun damage. Unfortunately, I'm not a millionaire. I do not have the funds to be lasering my whole body. If I could, I would. If you guys want me to do that, support my channel. I will go and do it. I will test it for you. But anyway, let me start off. I think it's going to be easier to do categories of what I have done in these 7 years for my skin and how I have actually prevented wrinkles. The most important thing I would say that I have done is regular but not excessive Botox. Botox works wonders. It really does for wrinkle prevention, and you can absolutely do it preventatively. But in my humble opinion, I would not start Botox before the age of 30. That's just my opinion. But that was also maybe just the way my face looked, acted, and behaved. I remember I started it after my son was born, or was it before? I can't remember, but I was around the age of 30-ish, and it was a little bit young. Like, I did it and I didn't really notice a difference because I was so plump and full of collagen, you couldn't actually see much of a difference. But I do remember it did relax my 11s. That's where I started with the Botox, just here, just however many units they need to stop the frown. I noticed it, but at the time, my husband was like, what did you do it for? So, but the joke was that I couldn't frown from then onwards. So I liked it, but I got it done I would go a long time in between. Then eventually I started to do a little bit of the crow's feet, and then a little bit what they call off-label, So you do it also just here to prevent, because when you Botox your crow's feet, then you get all the scrunchies here that you notice. So then I would do that, and the 11s every now and then. To be honest, over the years, I haven't done a lot of Botox because it is expensive, it is time consuming. And as I get older, it does seem to wear off quicker. When I was young, I could go 9 months or more in between Botox sessions because it atrophied the muscles and it just didn't come back that quickly. So, but also when you're young, maybe there's enough collagen that you don't really notice it coming back that quickly. Now, if I had to do Botox absolutely regularly, it would be every sort of 3 to 4 months. That's not sustainable for me. So what I do is I do obviously let it wear off. And then if it bothers me, whatever area is bothering me that much, then I will go and have it done. And then I'll feel all wonderful again for a few months and then it wears off. But I do feel even that is enough to prevent the wrinkles from etching, you know, when they become deeply etched, so that even at rest, you can still see that the wrinkles are there. Now, I do have one that is wanting to form over there because I haven't had the means or the funds to Botox my crow's feet for quite a while. So I do know that if I had Botoxed regularly, that wouldn't be there. So I can just sort of see the one is like it's wanting to come. And yeah, sure, by the time I'm 50, who cares? I get it. It's going to happen anyway, but I love the idea of prevention. And I love the fact that if I can do something and it is within my budget, every now and then I squeeze my budget a little bit to do some Botox. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. I like it and it really does work. The other thing I do, let's just talk about what I do from the inside out, because this is something that is accessible to almost everyone. I eat a healthy diet as far as possible. Not always, as you guys know. I've put videos out there. I do tend to binge eat. I do love my chocolate cake, my sweets, sugars. So it's not that I never eat sugars. I do, unfortunately. But I do tend to try and aim for healthier food choices. And I always try and get in 100 grams of protein a day as far as possible. I don't always hit that target. And I fully believe that protein, it's the building block of your skin, hair, and your nails. Oh, here comes the dog. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so sorry, the dog was interrupting my flow there. So where was I going? Oh, with protein. Protein is very important, I fully believe, for all tissue repair that needs to happen. Your skin, your hair, your nails, your muscle building. So please don't undereat on protein. If there is one macronutrient I want you to never skimp on, ladies, it's protein. And I've been saying that pretty much all along on my channel. But with regards to skin, I fully believe that you can include collagen. Now, there's a lot of debate about collagen, and I'm not convinced, but it's also, there's no harm. So if you want to include collagen, go for it. It's not going to do you any harm. It does contain some of the amino acids that protein contains. I have tried it. I've got some collagen left. What I would add, and this is what I have been doing in the last year or so, is I've added in a regular vitamin C every day. When I remember, I will take my 500 milligrams in the morning, 500 milligrams at night. So I split 1,000 milligram vitamin C dose into 2. I don't always remember. So often I'm just taking 500 milligrams in the morning only, which is not ideal. I'd like to try and split it so that you've always got vitamin C in your system available for your body to use, because your body uses it in the formation and production of collagen. And so I figure, give your skin a fighting chance. Now, recently, I have added in beta-carotene and astaxanthin, which I discovered when I tried them for tanning. Remember, I did those videos on giving yourself a natural tan, for those of you who watch my channel quite often. And what I discovered was, yes, it gave me a glow, a subtle glow, but I really discovered that my eyes felt better. In general, they felt more lubricated, not as dry and scratchy, and my skin just looked nicer. It's something that I can't quantify. I don't know, you wouldn't really see it on camera, but my skin did have a color, a glow, and I just felt like my skin looked better. And I have discovered upon research that these things do act like an internal sunscreen for your skin. Not that you should skip the sunscreen ever. These are not a replacement to sunscreen, but they add that extra layer of protection. They are strong antioxidants. Astaxanthin is a very powerful antioxidant, which I only discovered upon taking it and then doing further research. So that is one supplement that I've actually decided to just keep in my supplement stack. Now, I try and take it every day. Again, some days you're in a rush in the morning, you forget. I don't think it's a big deal if you skip here or there, but I do try and take those every day, and I fully believe that that is helping. So that is what I take orally, protein and the supplements. I have spoken about Botox because that is the best wrinkle preventative, I think, known to mankind. Now, let me go over anything topical that I could put on my skin, that you could put on your skin too, that you can either buy over the counter or get from a dermatologist. The number one thing is tretinoin or retin A. Now, I do get a doctor's script. I have been doing that since, like I said, the age of 40, and I have upkept that pretty regularly. Sometimes I go through phases where I use it, then I don't use it as often. It does just depend. Sometimes I get the shits and I think, oh, this is not working. Why am I even bothering? Because again, all these things, they do add up. The cost adds up. Then I'll go through phases. Let's say I do a treatment, a laser treatment or something, and my skin is looking glowing. And then I want to keep it up. So then I use the tretinoin a bit more regularly. What I have found when I use tretinoin like every second night regularly, my skin does have a healthy glow. Lately, every week, at least once a week, maybe even twice a week, people are complimenting me on my skin. And my skin is the oldest it's ever been. People should be not complimenting me anymore on my skin. But I've noticed that it's usually when I'm in a good rhythm and routine with my tretinoin. I have recently added in niacinamide. So let me just show you. I've actually bought from The Ordinary their niacinamide serum. I'm actually going to show you guys. Okay, so from The Ordinary, I've used this. Now there's that doctor on YouTube. His name is Dr. Abs. He's a dentist, but he's become like into skincare. And he was raving about niacinamide. What doesn't work, what I have found to be very wishy-washy, is vitamin C serums. So luckily, I've actually been given some for Christmas or birthday or something, and Prequel had sent me their vitamin C serum. I didn't find it that great. The jury is still out for me on the niacinamide. I like something that has a punch. I want to notice the difference. I want to notice the effect or the result. For me, so far, tretinoin has still been better than niacinamide, but because this Dr. Abs recommended it, I bought the serum, and then I also bought the powder. Now, you can buy niacinamide powder very, very cheap, and you can mix your own. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to make a video on how I have mixed niacinamide powder into a plain aqueous cream base, and I've created my own body lotion. I could also use it on my face. The mix I've done is about 6%. You can go up to 10%. And they say that it helps maintain a healthy lipid barrier, minimizes redness and blotchiness, minimizes pore appearance, regulates oil, brightens the skin, protects against sun damage. I think it means just clears away the damage, treats hyperpigmentation, minimizes fine lines and wrinkles. So this is what I'm experimenting with currently, and so far so good. Is it working? I don't know. I think so. So that's topically. And you guys do remember, I've spoken about this ad nauseum, the Qure All-in-One Skincare Serum. So when I either don't have money for tretinoin or I'm just using different things, I will use this at night. This has every single active ingredient that you could want in a skincare treatment. Niacinamide, retinol. It doesn't have tretinoin. It's got the weaker version. It's got a whole lot in here. Everything you could want. So I highly recommend you guys check it out. I have a discount code which I will leave in the description box of this video. It's always there, and if I remember, I'll do a pinned comment as well. Now the other thing, this is not quite topical, but I guess you could call it topical. This is at-home skincare now, and all of my at-home skincare comes from Qure Skincare because I am one of their affiliate marketers, and they send me the stuff and I love it. And it must be working because, like I say, lately I'm getting compliments on my skincare on the regular, every day basically. So here's their red light therapy mask, which I don't use it every single day because I do tend to forget. And of course, all these things take time. I had made a short where I was complaining about the battery life. That was my fault. There is like a button that you push to just get it somewhat on, you see that light there, you need to turn it all the way off after you go through there. So I wasn't turning it all the way off. Now, what I wanted to say about the red light therapy, the blue light is more for acne. The red light therapy is for collagen building. There is science behind it. How much collagen it builds, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm still seeing my skin age, even with all the things that I do, because I think that that is inevitable. The rate of aging is almost always going to surpass any treatment you can do. But I do think with treatments, you can just slow that down somewhat, give your skin more of a glow, and just give your skin a fighting chance. And this is also very healing, anti-inflammatory, collagen building. So for me, why not? It's non-invasive. There's no downtime. I mean, they've sent me the mask. It is FDA approved. It's the right wavelength or whatever they talk about. So go and check this out on Qure's website. The other thing I do is, and I've shown you guys this. So I've shown you they've got the holiday micro-infusion kit. There's also the normal micro-infusion kit. Microneedling is one of the other things for your skin that is backed by science, that is proven to work to build collagen, but it's also, again, it's on the surface layer. So it's nothing like sculpture, which can build collagen deeper. But I always say, why not add these things in? The technology's here. We've got all these products. If you can afford it, add it in. This saves you. So you get the serums in this Qure Skincare. This is the holiday kit, which comes with a little mirror, and then it comes with the little needle heads. So instead of microneedling with a little motorized microneedling thing, which I also have, this one you stamp in, and you sort of stamp and press the serum in, and the little needles go 0.5 millimeters into your skin. It really is giving you the same effect as microneedling. Now, it's all in one kit here, which is great. Let me just put that away. So I'm showing you that because although you guys know about Qure Skincare, I've spoken about it a lot, this is my at-home skin maintenance. I don't do this as regularly as I should or as they recommend, but it is part of my whole routine. I also have a Dr. Pen microneedling thing, which I have recently bought after watching yet another YouTube video talking about the benefits of microneedling. And I went for a microneedling session, and I saw she just literally used the microneedling pen, and I thought, I can order that. I mean, the cost of going into a salon, getting it done, within 2 or 3 sessions, if I buy that pen myself, I can do it at home. Am I doing it as well as she did it? I don't know. Am I doing it at the correct depth? Well, I have Googled and researched the different depths, so I hope so. But the beauty of having a pen at home is that you can microneedle your arms, your back, your butt, your legs. You can do your whole body, which I really find exciting. And this is the other thing I wanted to share with you guys. As I get sent products, or as I have leftover product, or like with that niacinamide powder, I've created my own niacinamide lotion, which I can use on my body. I do use a lot of this skincare on my whole body as well, because I don't want my face to not match the rest of my body, right? I mean, you don't want a young face and then this old body, so that's the other thinking. So here's what I say. If you are given any gifts, if you have leftover, if you find something's not that effective on your face, use it on your body. Do the derma rolling on your body. Do a Dr. Pen on your body. Anyway, so now I digress and get off track. So these are things that I can do and use at home, topical or stuff that I do on my own skin. If I had started doing all of this from the age of 25, 30, for example, microneedling, I do think I would be in a much better position skin-wise as to where I am now. Okay, but if you are in your 20s, and I think you should know this by now, it's been said so often, but it does bear repeating, sunscreen. Sunscreen, sunscreen, sunscreen. In your 20s, I think that's all you need to worry about. Just wear a daily sunscreen on all the parts of you that are exposed to the sun. Then I would add in something like a niacinamide. I think it's too young for tretinoin, but you could start from about the age of 25. If I could go back in time and tell my 20-year-old self what to do, I would tell her, save your money and just use a sunscreen and a very basic moisturizer. I still use a very basic, cheap moisturizer. It's one with a built-in sunscreen, and that's all. I don't think you need to spend money on a fancy moisturizer. I don't think you need to spend money on a toner. I don't think you need to spend money on a separate eye cream or any of that nonsense. Just buy a cleanser that is not too drying, and that's it really. And then sunscreen. And then I think all these other things are more bang for your buck. So then at the age of 40, as I said in the beginning, I did Limelight. I have since done another 4 Limelight treatments over the years. I've done 1 chemical peel in my life only, and that was in my late 20s. I think it was before my wedding. I found it felt like ants crawling on my skin. It was quite a horrible sensation. I went home, I peeled, I was red, whatever, and then my skin did look nice and fresh, but I remember thinking it was a very temporary effect. Maybe as I have gotten older now, I would notice more of a difference. So again, when you're young, you do these skincare treatments, and to me, nothing really makes that big of a difference because your skin already looks so good. In your 20s, your skin is amazing. It's the best it'll ever be. I don't think you need to waste your money. If you find that you are emoting in a certain way and you want to do Botox, start preventatively and just wear a sunscreen. So try and save your money. As you get into your 30s, you just ramp it up a little bit more, but you still have so much collagen and elastin. The main thing you want to do is just prevent that from being broken down by the sun. Maybe start using tretinoin. If I could go back in time, I would start tretinoin around the age of 35, I think. Because again, it does cost money. You do need a doctor's script. Why would you go and start all of this way too early? Then I would ramp up the Botox a little bit. And then maybe from the age of sort of 38, I would start looking at lasers. Then what I have done to my skin, and I have videos on this as well. This is all now in my 40s. I have done Profiler. I did it once, but I did the 2 treatments as they recommended. I did like it. I did notice a plumping effect, but what I noticed was it was very subtle and it did wear off. It doesn't last. Does it build long-lasting collagen? I don't know, who's to say. And also because Profiler treats the lower portion of your face, you don't get any benefit up here, which is one of my bugbears about some of these treatments. Even Sculpture, they do your mid-face, but you don't get any treatment up here. I don't know if there are providers that do the forehead. I find that the forehead gets neglected or forgotten or untreated with a lot of these treatments. For your forehead, your best bet is Botox and tretinoin. Microneedling you can do on your forehead, and you can do laser treatments on your forehead. I've also had just once in my life Fraxel dual laser. I did Fraxel on my face. I have a video. I will link to that down below. And then I did IPL on my neck and chest for the sun damage. And I found my skin did look nice. It did look good afterwards. There was quite a bit of downtime because you've got all the little Fraxel crusties that come up. But again, how long does that effect last? It's not that great. It did last, but it wasn't, I don't know. Again, do all these treatments stack up over time? I'm going to say yes, that they do. So I've done Fraxel. I've done 4 Limelights. I've done tretinoin regularly on and off. I've since started microneedling at home. I've done 2 professional microneedling sessions in my 40s total. And I don't notice much of a difference with microneedling. Now I know that they say you need to do it regularly, every 4 to 6 weeks for a year. Maybe if I did that, I would notice more of a difference. I hope by doing it at home, I will be more regular with it and notice a difference. But bang for your buck, I can't say microneedling has wowed me. As I said, I've done 1 chemical peel only when I was very young, and that was just my face. I am now very focused on doing face, neck, and chest. The one treatment I really regret is the Neoplasma. It was the plasma jet thing. I went into this one skin clinic. My boyfriend at the time had bought it for me for my birthday. It was very expensive. It was very painful. There was a lot of downtime. I haven't shared this on YouTube because I just found afterwards, it's like your skin kind of peels and flakes off. You look terrible for about a week. I couldn't go anywhere for about a week. And then I had fresh looking skin for about a week. And then I was like, and now I look the same. Like I didn't really notice more collagen. I didn't notice anything dramatic. Having said that, because I was, 44, 45, I can't remember, my skin wasn't too bad, and I've done all these other things. So maybe it was just at a time where my skin was already looking good. Previous to having done the Neoplasma, I had done Fraxel, I had done Limelights. Previous I had done Profiler. So I don't know. But I did my face, neck, and chest. I can't say it was worth it. It was extremely uncomfortable, very painful, and for me, just not worth it. I am very interested now in doing CO2 fractionated laser, where it's not the full-on CO2 where they literally ablate your skin, which apparently in the 90s they did a lot of that. They say that CO2 laser is the gold standard when it comes to skin resurfacing, and I feel like at my age now, it would be worth the spend. I would like to do it. It is affordable, but I would need to save up for it. But that is something I do want to do. They do say that it can really help with the fine lines and wrinkles, building quite a bit of collagen. But again, the collagen is in the upper layer of your skin. It's not building deep structural collagen, which obviously we lose with age. And for those of you who have watched my channel recently, you know I've lost a bit of weight recently by being on tirzepatide. So I am noticing hollowing. That would have to be addressed with fillers. So let's get into the fillers side of things. I have also had very minimal, a little bit of filler done in my face in the past. I haven't done any filler for, 2-3 years now. So I know that they say it stays, but I mean, basically there isn't any active filler in my face. Filler does not get rid of wrinkles. It cannot treat the texture of your skin. It can plump from the inside out. You can get, now this is something I'm excited to find out about in my next visit to my esthetician. You can get apparently micro droplets of filler all around your face to create a general plumping, which I would love to find out about, find out the cost. If you would like me to make a video on that, and if I do decide to go ahead with it, please let me know in the comments, because sometimes there's things that I do that I'm not sure if it would be of interest to you guys. So that is what I want to find out about, because I have lost a lot of volume and I do feel like I need a general plumping. Yes, my temples have hollowed, but that's beside the point. But in terms of getting rid of wrinkles, filler doesn't do that, other than it can just plump up from underneath. And if the wrinkles are because of hollowing, like a deflated balloon, you see a deflated balloon, looks a little bit saggy and wrinkly. When that balloon is puffed up or filled up, you know, you don't see any kind of wrinkles. So from that aspect, filler may help if you have deflated. So I'm starting to notice here, I'm wanting something because of the weight loss. There's some deflation around this portion of my face. So hopefully a little bit of filler or something like that can help, because Botox here may not help, because you have to smile. You cannot go through life without smiling. You can't Botox your smile away. So I am looking at that. Let me just check. I made notes on what I've done to my skin, and I think, let's see, I've done IPL Limelight, which I said, Fraxel, Neoplasma, which I do not recommend. I think it was a waste of time and a waste of a week hiding away. I've done Profiler, which I've told you guys about. Oh, yes, and the last thing, I nearly forgot. About 3 to 4 months ago, I had one treatment of Aspella, AESPLLA. It is a polyl-lactic acid, so a Sculptra-like molecule. It's the same molecule, but it's called Aspella. It comes from, I think, Korea. It is their alternative to Sculptra. I got it done because it was cheaper. I just had the one vial, and they go in here, they make a hole, and they push it in. Now that clinic or doctor said he prefers it to Sculptra. He says that the molecules are smaller. So I don't know. It's a stronger concentration, I think. But I'm still waiting to see any results. So I have to be honest with you guys. I would have gone for a follow-up, but I was kind of running out of money at that point. So I thought I'll just stretch it and wait. And in the meantime, I kept looking like, do I see any difference? Even if it was a 1% difference in my skin texture, tautness, anything, I would have probably gone for the second treatment. I see nothing. Now I know in the meantime, I have gained a little bit and then lost weight. So maybe that is confounding any small result I would have seen. I know that they recommend at least 2 sessions, if not 3 or 4, because they say it should be a vial for every decade of your life. I'm close to 50, I'm 47. So I would probably need 4 or 5 vials at least. But I haven't noticed an improvement in my skin at all from that. So I don't want to waste more money on a product that either doesn't work or I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. I see nothing. I saw more improvement with Profilo, to be perfectly honest. That's just my humble opinion. Now, I know that they say with poly-L-lactic acid, it takes 3 to 6 months for it to stimulate collagen deep within or whatever. But again, like I say, I'm somebody who I want to see a result and I want it to be noticeable, even if it is very small. So for me personally, I'm going to finish off this video in terms of preventing wrinkles and bang for your buck when it comes to your skin. Number one, obviously from the inside out, eat a healthy diet. Make sure you're getting in enough protein every day. That is something achievable for most people and doesn't cost that much money. Although protein is expensive, meat's expensive, but I mean, you've got to eat, right? Take supplements, make sure you're getting in enough vitamins and minerals. If you really want to add in a beta carotene, an astaxanthin, and a vitamin C, I found that those three are great for skin. Skip the biotin, it does nothing. Sunscreen, also very important. The next thing is tretinoin. I do find that gives you a freshness to your skin. It doesn't build collagen. It's not going to prevent pigmentation. I still get my pigmentation re-emerging even when I'm on tretinoin, although they do say that it acts like it's supposed to stop or prevent pigmentation or reduce it. I've only introduced niacinamide at the moment. Now the jury is out on that, but it does seem to give my skin a little bit of a fresher look. So I alternate now. I do the niacinamide serum one night and the tretinoin the next night. And when I remember after I wash my skin, I use the Qure LED red light therapy mask, which I find easy to do, pleasant enough to do. I don't do it every day. You're supposed to. It's only 3 minutes, but I figure there's enough science behind this to make it worthwhile adding in. If you cannot afford tretinoin or you find tretinoin is too harsh, I very much highly recommend the Qure all-in-one serum. And then you don't even have to worry about the niacinamide. It's all in here. You can do it all in one step, done for you. So there you go. I do think microneedling is worth doing. It's not dramatic, but I think it's worth doing. And like I say, I've actually seen more results with microneedling than I even saw with that one session of poly-L-lactic acid. Maybe I should have just gone for actual Sculptra and I shouldn't have gone for this Korean brand. I don't know, but I was trusting this doctor. So there you go. I don't know. I didn't find that useful. Profilo was pretty good, but it's very expensive. And is it sustainable? That's the other thing. Is it sustainable? Can I do this on the regular and afford it? The Neoplasma plasma treatment, what a waste of time and money. I'm sorry I ever did it, but anyway, now I know. The Fraxel dual laser was pretty decent, but again, you have to upkeep, and this gets something that it gets expensive. It's time, it's healing, it's downtime. So for that reason, let me try and give you my top picks. It's hard to say because each thing does something in a different way, but Botox, yes, for wrinkle prevention. Tretinoin for freshness, for slowing down the degradation of your collagen. It doesn't build collagen that well, but it probably slows down the loss of it. Eat a healthy diet. Sunscreen. Yeah, did I say that? And limelight is very good doesn't really prevent wrinkles, but it really makes your skin look better. So I do like that. That's not really a wrinkle prevention, although it does build some collagen, they do say. And then I would love to try, now this is something I want to try, but I haven't done it yet, is CO2 fractional laser. So I'm not going to do the full ablation, but I'm very interested in it. And that is the next thing on my radar to maybe see if I can stave off the wrinkles. Apparently you can do it around your eyes too. Oh, RF microneedling. That was the last point I wanted to make for you guys. I did it once on my hands. They were running a special at the clinic near me. And at the time I was thinking, my hands are getting very sun damaged, whatever. I didn't see any difference. So I think maybe with the RF microneedling, although I did see it came up the little crusties, the little brown healing crusties, whatever. I didn't notice any collagen, any texture improvement. My hands just looked the same. Maybe you would notice it if you did quite a few sessions on your face. I don't know. Maybe they did it too much on the surface and they didn't go deep enough because my hands are quite thin and slim. So I find with a lot of these treatments, unfortunately, You don't get like a one and done where you can go in there, get a treatment, and you're good for a year. A lot of them do require you to come back, and that's what annoys me. But I have found by just sort of maybe stacking all of these things, trying them all, being very good with my tretinoin and my sunscreen from the age of 40. I'll show you guys, and then obviously using all the Qure products and doing the little odd bit of microneedling. I am wrinkle free, as I showed you that video that I took. There are no like harsh, deep etched wrinkles on my face yet. So I hope that this video gives you a little bit of inspiration. You could keep it fairly simple. Most of my skincare is pretty simple. And of course I exercise. That's something I should have said from the beginning, but I think you guys know that already on this channel. And exercise promotes blood flow. And I mean, I still run. I'm just very much more aware of using sunscreen when I run. I always run with a cap now, which I never used to do when my skin was so badly damaged after that 1 or 2 year stint of running. So now I always wear a cap. I try, if I can, cover up my neck and chest as far as possible. But exercise does. It promotes blood flow to your face. So don't be afraid of jumping around, of going for a run. I mean, yes, you always think gravity. Is the gravity going to be pulling on my skin? Gravity's pulling on your skin as you sit here. We cannot do away with gravity. We have it. If you really want to, you can buy an inversion machine and lie upside down, which I would actually be quite keen to try. So yes, I'm a bit vain. I do put a lot of effort into my skin, but the stalwarts for me, botox, tretinoin, maybe just do an odd laser treatment now and then. Chemical peels are something I would like to look into. So please do share with me in the comments below, what do you think are the best skincare treatments, bang for your buck, so that we can all learn from each other?